Action.
Welcome to Off Camera, the UC Film Society radio show all about movies. I'm Ollie.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Sam.
And we'll be your directors for this episode. Today, we'll be talking about the SAG Awards. We'll be doing a Pick Your Moment game, and we'll talk about some Film Society stuff. Cam, Jake, how are you?
I'm
Pretty
great.
good. Pretty good. What are you up to, Ollie?
Not much. Filming stuff. It's
Hell
exciting.
yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
Oh, yeah. You just finished up LCA.
Yeah.
For us, we're recording this like 3 days before it's due. But, yeah, I think they're screening on the Canberra Day Long Weekend. So
Yes.
Oh,
The
nice.
8th of March,
Yeah.
I believe, is when screening will be, which is exciting.
Ollie and I both have films that are going to be submitted.
Yeah.
No
But
promise
ours,
that they'll
ours
get
is
in,
going to get
but-
in and yours won't.
No, it won't be.
No,
I'm excited to see
I
both
don't
of
know
these
if ours
films.
is going to get in, but it's exciting. It's a good film, whether we get in or not. So I'm
Mm.
excited about that.
Yeah, and you can always submit it to other things
Yeah.
as well, which is, you know, the upside.
Indeed.
Let's head straight into recent watching. Jake. What have you
So
watched?
this past week, I went to a screening of Jaws at the National Film and Sound Archive in Canberra. They showed it in 4K. My first time seeing it in the big screen. It was great. There was a panel discussion afterwards from two people from ANU. One was a shark biologist, so she talked to us about sharks and how the film, has influenced the reception of sharks.
That's so
And
cool.
another one was the professor of music at ANU, who was actually a student of John Williams. He had
Who was that?
Wow.
His name is Kenneth Lampole.
Yes.
He had so many great stories about John Williams, and it was so much fun hearing about his thoughts on the music. That was great. It was a free screening too, so perfect.
Free. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I also watched this movie for Australian National Cinema, Hot Mess from 2018. Did not like it at all. It was clearly a film made for a very low budget, which I can appreciate.
$3,000.
Yeah. But the film just did not work. I won't get into that. I rewatched Jordan Peele's Nope, one of my favorite films to come out in the past recent years. Just so creative, so unique. Very much my style of film. And watching this close with Jaws was actually pretty cool because I think Nope is very influenced by Jaws. I can't wait to see what Jordan Peele does next. I saw Tenet in IMAX. That was just a full body experience.
70mm.
Yeah, it was like a full body experience. It was like a roller coaster, I was like pushed back in my chair. Some of those scenes are so exhilarating. I highly recommend seeing that if you can.
How long is it there for? This is the IMAX.
It only played for a week. It's done now. But like if they replay it, which I think they will, because they played it before they re-released it.
Mm-hmm.
But this was like a special run.
Oh, yeah. That's so sick.
Yeah. I also watched Muriel's Wedding for Australian National Cinema, 1994 film. Toni Collette's first film performance. She was amazing in it. I love the movie. Very much a coming of age story, but very Australian and then very heartwarming, but also very, very sad. I really liked it. I also watched Sweetie for Australian National Cinema, a 1989 film directed by Jane Campion, who's done some bigger films like The Piano and Power of the Dog. Her debut feature, very creative, very well shot. I love the cinematography, and it had a really unique tone that I thought it held very well. So I really like that too. And that's what I've been watching. Also, I'm only bringing this up. I'm also bringing this up because this isn't a movie, but it felt bigger than any movie I'll ever see. I went to the Taylor Swift The Eras Tour live. It was one of the craziest experiences I've ever had. I've never been in a place that loud, so big. It was a true spectacle. She killed it. It was great.
Where were your seats?
We were like, there's like a lower upper bowl, and there's like an upper bowl. It was like, it's good. There's like no bad seat at that show because you can literally see like all the lights. You get a bracelet that like lights up, and
The obstructed seats.
yeah.
The only reason they were obstructed is because there was this one light tower down near the stage.
Yeah, even the
that you
obstructed ones
couldn't-
are just
It
perfect.
wasn't even
doesn't
obstructed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's crazy.
so they were really good for the price we paid. So
Did you know Taylor's last tour,
mhm.
the one before the Eras tour?
Reputations.
Yes, her Reputation tour. She earned what is now the equivalent of $440 million. That tour was like 8 months or something.
Mhm.
This tour is a year and a half or whatever,
Mhm.
and is all of her albums.
Mhm.
I can't even imagine how much
She has
from it.
made an unholy amount of money.
It's 44
insane.
song concert, 3.5 hours. She did it 4 nights in a row in Sydney, 3 nights in a row in Melbourne. She's already been doing this tour for a year. I felt exhausted at the end of just one show. I can't imagine how she feels.
I was in Sydney on that weekend.
Oh, wow.
And driving
Yeah.
past, so I got into Sydney about 11.
Mm-hmm.
Driving past the Sydney Olympic Park exit,
Mm-hmm.
there was nobody.
Yeah.
And then driving back past it, because I went into the CBD, I drove back past it and it was packed all the way back up the freeway. It was completely bumper to bumper, insane. And the concert still didn't start for another 3 hours.
It was unreal. I like her music a lot. I'm not like the biggest fan, but like it's truly undeniable. Like seeing all her fans.
She's made a major impact
For
on
sure.
pop culture and on the music industry.
I think she's the biggest artist of our generation.
Isn't she the biggest artist ever?
Probably. The Beatles, that's the only one I could think of, I'm sure there's others I'm forgetting, but
It's like
yeah.
you think of like what was the biggest concert. There's
Mhm.
like Live Aid had over a
Mhm.
million people
Mm.
in person plus online, like watching on TV, and then
Mhm.
there was some concert in Russia or something that had a
Oh,
million.
Metallica.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
the Metallica
Some
concert.
of the photos from that are
but
just mind-boggling.
but that's one concert. That's not like
A
the
tour.
artist being
Yeah.
so massive. So I don't know. It's hard to discern exactly. There are probably people who have spent years and years trying to figure out who the biggest artist is based on
Mm.
analytical data.
She's certainly in the conversation. Anyway. Oh wow.
I'm just
Cam's
looking
just
at
showing
some
me
of
the
the
photos,
photos from
yeah.
the Metallica concert in Russia. 1.6 million fans in the
Yeah.
one.
That's crazy.
Anyway, not really a movie,
Wow.
but felt relevant to
That's
bring
crazy.
up.
Yeah, it's very
I mean,
significant.
it is kind of a movie.
Well,
but
the
also
Eras Tour
not-
movie
not
exists.
that one.
Yeah.
Can't believe they've made a movie about the tour
Mhm.
in the duration of the tour.
Before it
Yeah.
even finished.
And the tour hasn't
Yeah.
finished, and you saw the tour after you saw the movie.
She's going till the end of the year.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. Anyway.
She's still got to go to like all of Europe
Mm-hmm.
and some parts of Asia, I think. Yeah, she's got
It's
Singapore left.
absurd.
Mm.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then she's going to the US
Again.
again.
Well, that's the world tour. That's every artist's
Yeah,
world
true.
tour. It's like the UK,
The US,
maybe
Australia.
France, US. They don't even come to Oz. Oh wait, no, sorry. They go to either Perth or Sydney.
Yeah.
Melbourne is less common,
Mm.
but
They don't
Yeah.
go to New Zealand ever.
Mm.
Taylor didn't
that's
go to
not
New
part
Zealand.
of the world. I don't know what you're talking
Love New Zealand.
That's the upside down.
about.
Cam, what did you watch?
Like one thing. This week was not. It's been a busy week with uni.
LCA. Yeah.
Well, yeah, actually, yeah.
Mm.
I was shooting LCA
Mm.
yesterday, which was awesome. You might have seen me up on the Lights Camera Action Instagram.
Oh, I saw.
That was funny. There's a little story behind that photo. We were talking about how easy it was to get on to their story, and we're like, oh, surely it's not that easy. Okay, let's play it out. Where Ollie, who was the director, you yell at me, and I'll look like I'm really angry, and I'll yell back at you, and then our sound guy was just taking photos and then was posting them, and yeah, it was that easy. It's like it's the meme.
That
It
is
was that
funny.
easy.
Mm.
But yeah.
It was very easy, evidently, but still cool to be on that.
Oh no, it was still really cool. But yeah, the only other thing I watched was Muriel's Wedding. I
Mm.
thought, yeah, it was okay. It was pretty realistic of 90s Oz, but apart from that,
Fair enough.
I gave it 3 stars, I think. So
Mm.
a
Yeah.
bit more than average, but yeah.
These two have already called me a weeb for what I've watched, but I watched 2 movies, and they were both anime movies. One of them was the theatrical release of the first episode of the new anime season, so it technically wasn't a movie, but it was cool to see in theaters.
That's so sick.
They showed the last episode of the previous season and the first episode of the new one, so it was just a fun experience to be like, we haven't had a new season for a year, let's do a theatrical release. And the episode was like an hour long,
So you hadn't seen either of them before?
no, I'd
Or-
seen the previous episode,
You hadn't seen the new one though.
but I hadn't seen the new one because
Oh.
it hasn't, like, it was released in theaters.
That's
The new
so
season
sick.
hasn't come out yet, so it's sort of like a preview, if you will, but they're showing it
Mhm.
all over the world. So
Nice.
I love how that a couple years, actually no, I don't love it, but a couple years ago, cinema was pegged as like it's dying out. Streaming services are going to kill it, but now the amount of like the broad amount of media that's just being shown at these.
Oh,
at
it
cinemas
makes me
now.
happy.
It's awesome.
But it is also in a way to recover it.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Like it's a concerted effort. It's because of what happened a couple of
Yeah.
years ago and because of COVID and things like that.
Mm.
Like Dendy is still getting way less profits than it was before COVID,
Yeah.
even though they're showing more stuff.
Yeah, but even like movies from streaming services, so like Napoleon, that's an Apple TV exclusive now. But if they did the thing where Netflix, like Netflix does, where it's just released on Netflix, then it would have been a massive shame. But to actually have it go into cinemas was really cool.
Mm.
And I think that they should do that more often with bigger hits instead of this rubbish that they churn out just for fun.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
And then I also watched another anime movie, the Jujutsu Kaisen 0, which I just watched.
Had you seen
last
that
night.
before?
No.
Nice.
I have never I'm just going through this phase where I'm
Mhm.
watching all these anime that I've been
Mhm.
recommended in the past.
Nice.
So
Do you know any Japanese?
I watch it with subtitles. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I can't speak Japanese. But yeah, no, I've just been watching that, and so part of the continuity of the show is there's a movie in there somewhere, so I just watched that.
It's very
That's
Oh,
all. That's all.
Apparently,
I watched
the
this week.
Community movie
Is on its way.
is
Need
on
it.
its way.
Need it
Donald
so
Glover
badly.
has
He said.
seen a script.
Yeah, he said the script is done.
The script is done.
Has Chevy
So-
Chase seen the
No,
script?
he's not. He's
No, he's
gone.
not. He's
He's
dead.
that
no way
was
he'll
my
be there.
joke because he sucks.
Yeah.
If you look at the
I haven't actually got up to the point where he leaves in the show. I'm
Oh,
like,
wow.
Okay.
I'm in the season. I'm like episodes away.
Is that season 4 or 5?
I think
4.
it's season 4. They
That's a
got rid of
bad.
him
That's a bad
pretty soon.
season.
But you should see the behind the scenes with him.
Like his character is bad in the show, but Chevy Chase behind the scenes was worse.
is also
And it's not just
pretty good.
Community. Everything he's worked on,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
People don't like him.
But he's in
yeah.
a lot of stuff from
Oh,
like the
he's-
90s, early 2000s.
Well, yeah,
That's
he
what
was-
he was
he
a
was-
90s movie star where he made
SNL.
like,
He was big on SNL.
what was the this is like Christmas
National
with-
Lampoon.
Yeah, National
Yeah.
Lampoon. Sorry, I'm thinking of something else.
But Christmas
yeah.
Vacation was one of them. There was
no,
like a
I'm
whole
thinking
series.
of Christmas with the Cranks.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he made
he's
films
in
like
a lot of-
Caddyshack, a lot of 80s and 90s comedies. Definitely like a lot in that Bill Murray era.
Yeah.
Oh, Tim Allen. Whoops.
But just not as good.
You're confusing Tim Allen with Chevy Chase.
I'm so
Ooh.
sorry.
Apologize to Buzz Lightyear right now.
I know the best Buzz Lightyear.
The only one. Oh
the
no, he's
only-
not. He's not the only one. I forgot
No,
about Chris
but
Evans.
He's the best one. He's the best one. But yeah, I think that's it for recent watching.
Mm.
Upcoming releases. Jake.
There's a few things coming out.
Jake is very keen.
Well,
He's
yeah.
about to go and have the biggest moment of the year.
Well, yeah,
Of
this is certainly
of
gonna.
this season.
Nah, it's certainly gonna be the biggest film this year.
Okay.
Dune Part 2 comes out. Is out now. You can see it now. I'm seeing it tonight. We're seeing it
Watching
this
it in
weekend.
2.5 hours.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the IMDb calendar, and it says Dune Part 2 comes out March 14, which
That's
is
so
crazy
weird.
because it's already
Yeah.
out. It's weird.
We're
Yeah.
doing a deep dive on it next week. Be sure to tune in for that one. It's going to be a big episode, and I
Yeah.
can't wait to talk about it with you guys and see it with you guys. It's
Like
gonna be
we
so
did
awesome.
with
It's gonna be awesome.
like we did with Killers of the Flower Moon. We're gonna do a big deep dive episode on it. So Jake watched it 2 days before. Just for context, Jake watched Killers of the Flower Moon 2 days before Ollie
We
and I
did.
did.
Mhm.
Or we went and watched it together
Mhm.
afterwards,
Mhm.
and then we're doing the same
Mhm.
thing here.
Yeah, I'll have seen it twice when we do this deep dive, which will be good
Yeah.
for me. I can't wait. It's going to be so fun.
And we got Cinema One in Dendy as well.
Yes, we
which
did.
is huge.
Yeah,
I think
Very
I watched
exciting.
the opening night of The Force Awakens. It was like the midnight screening.
that's so cool.
The
Yeah.
first people in the world to ever see it.
Very special.
It was
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
Like
That's not true. New Zealand sees it before Australia. Because I saw the Rise of
They're the same-
Skywalker
it's the same
midnight New
country.
Zealand, and I was so excited to see it before my friends. The death stare you just gave me, Cam. That was funny.
I forgot about New Zealand.
March 28 is a pretty big day. Well, according to IMDb.
I don't know how much I trust IMDb. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's all public. Most of it's all crowdsourced.
Yeah, so Godzilla x Kong, The
Mhm.
New Empire,
Mhm.
is coming out March 28. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, that's coming out March 22nd, isn't it?
That's what it said
Maybe.
on when I looked up.
Yeah.
Looked it up.
Kung Fu Panda 4.
So
which is
excited.
gonna be so
That's
excited.
gonna
We're gonna
be,
go see
a
that
big
together.
one.
You know what I found out today? In America, that comes out in 7 days, March 8th.
Why do
That's
they
sad.
That's
always
just
I'm sad.
disregard this fan
Stay
base?
off the internet.
It's
Don't get
insane.
spoiled.
I won't. Yeah.
I'm excited for Frozen Empire. I really liked the the previous one, which I forget the name of.
Afterlife.
Afterlife was really
with
good.
Paul Rudd. It was so good. It was really good.
If you guys say it's good, I'll see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was good. Definitely
and we
watch
just don't
it.
talk about the 2016 one.
There was a
I will never
2016 movie.
The one with all the girls. Oh, I understand the joke now.
I actually haven't seen
All
it.
right, let's just go back. There was a 2016 movie.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
No. Anyway, yeah, but that's really it for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, Dune is
Yeah.
like gonna occupy theaters for a while.
Is it the 7th of March? I think 7th of March. There is going to be The Gentleman on Netflix TV series. I really liked the movie by Guy Ritchie. He's
Yeah.
also in the trailer for this
Yeah.
TV series.
Yeah, well, he's in
Is
The
he?
Gentleman. He's in the
Oh, yeah,
movie.
he is.
He's
yeah.
he is in it.
I am excited to see that, and also March 14th, Invincible Season 2 Part 2.
Great stuff. Can't wait
I'm
for
very
that to come back.
excited.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah,
well-
there's not a huge amount coming out in this sort of chunk of
Yeah.
time.
We're trying to
but
keep it very concise.
yeah, otherwise we could go to the end of the year, but
Yeah.
God.
Gotta
Well,
have more content to talk
Let's
about.
let's break it up a little bit before we do the awards. Let's do a pick your moment. So-
Okay.
Sounds great.
Okay. So
Then-
for this pick your moment, we haven't done this in a while,
Mhm.
but for this pick your moment, we're gonna do Skyfall. So the Daniel Craig James Bond movie,
one of my favorites.
which I think is it's cinematography in it.
Roger Deakins at his
Roger
best.
Deakins is such a god with
It's
that
my
camera.
guy. Yeah, it's
Actually.
so well shot, and the action's so visceral, and he's great in it. And Javier Bardem as the villain is great. It's definitely the one I come back to the most out of the Bond films.
But there's still like a level of humor that they can get out of the seriousness.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
is pretty good.
It's,
I don't
it's
think they did
impressive.
it very well with No Time to Die.
Or Spectre.
I liked Spectre. It was the first one that I saw,
Okay.
like the first James Bond movie that I ever saw.
Oh wow.
So it's kind of special. But
Yeah, I like Casino Royale, the Craig one, and Skyfall the most because I feel like those toe the line of being witty but also very serious with two great villains in both of them. And I'm excited to talk about this film because I love it.
Yeah.
I remember when it came out in cinemas, my parents were going to see it, and I was like, "Can I come with you?" And they almost said yes,
Wow.
and then they were like, and eventually decided no. But that was
How old were
sad.
you? Like 9, 10?
2012.
Yeah, I was 9.
Yeah.
Aging myself.
I would have loved to see this
aging
in
myself
theaters.
negatively.
It would have been a great cinematic experience, especially in IMAX. Like I feel like this film would just be perfect in IMAX.
Yeah.
Any
wonder
Deakins.
What was it shot on? This is like.
It was an Alexa. It was the first digital Bond movie.
Really?
Really? I did not know that.
Let me just find it.
You
But
can't really tell. I feel like it fits in a.
I
it
think
fits
it's
in
because
within
it's
itself
Alexa
well.
does that digital film look.
Mhm.
This is so nerdy. I'm sorry, but they do that. Digital film looks so well, and with the new
Yeah,
camera,
yeah,
the
I
Alexa
agree.
35, you
Mhm.
have a choice of grain textures. So
Mhm.
it's changing the structure and the size and everything about the grain of the image. It's not like a cosmetic thing, but it's literally it happens before the data from the sensor is encoded into RAW or before the debayer, if you know how that works. I need someone else on here to talk about it. But it was shot on the Arri Alexa M and the Arri Alexa Plus. So these were some of the first digital film cameras. Also shot on the Red Epic, which
Interesting.
I dislike it a little bit more now, but that's okay. But yeah, this is pick your moment. So
Mhm.
Jake, do you want to start? Pick a moment. We should probably explain it first, but
We've done this before.
we've done this before.
don't need
If you
to
don't know
explain
about it, go back and watch all the other episodes because
Listen
I
to
can't
it.
remember which ones we watch, listen. You can just
However you consume.
however you consume your media.
My moment would probably be, interestingly not like an action sequence from the film, be the first time Bond meets Silva, the villain played by Javier Bardem. And it's just such a great, it's just one shot over the shoulder Bond. You see him come in from the distance and he just walks towards Bond, so menacing. And he has this whole speech on rats and how to get rid of rats. It's not that shot, but it's in that scene.
Yeah.
And just Javier Bardem is so scary, and like the look of him is so scary, and the way he delivers that whole monologue is so good, and it's just such a chilling moment, and it sets the stage so well for the rest of the film. It's a very quiet moment, but very menacing, and
He's a very good
it's hard not to mention all the stuff in the third act that just looks so freaking good
You
by
can definitely
Deakins, but
spoil it.
yeah.
It's a 12-year-old movie.
I'm not for spoiling, like hard not to pick that as my moment,
yeah.
but like yeah, that scene is the one I think of the most, I think.
Okay.
There is a thing about Skyfall which I find interesting is, I mean, Bond dies, air quotes, about 10 minutes in, if that. And then turns out he's not dead, which
Shocker.
obviously.
Yeah.
Really?
But he gets severely injured and has to go essentially through this rehab.
Mm-hmm.
I find it really interesting because they sort of don't, like, it's all within the course of one movie. And if this was a standalone movie, yeah, sure, that could happen. But because it's a Bond movie and it's part of a franchise, to sort of cripple him and then just rebuild him all in the one movie feels almost pointless in a way. I know we're not deep diving this movie. I hadn't thought about it until just now because it still works in the movie. It's
I'd
just
be keen to deep dive a Bond movie though.
yeah. It's just an interesting choice that they made
Yeah.
because
I never thought
they
about
could
that.
have crippled him for good. He still had 2 more movies. They could have left that. I mean, he has some scars, shall we say, from this. Like he's mentally affected severely by the death of M.
Yeah.
And like he's probably physically affected. They don't really play it into it that much.
No.
But the reason I say that is, I mean, one moment you just can't forget is when he dies, air quotes. But when he gets shot and he falls off the train, off the bridge into the water,
and that lead into the opening credits with the amazing song by Adele. Like that song is so good.
I love that.
We played that
theme,
song
though.
in band in primary school.
That's great.
It was so cool.
What'd you play?
Bass guitar.
Ooh,
Oh,
sick.
nice.
Yeah, I love that about the Bond films because I know it's very like movies don't really have opening sequences anymore.
Yeah,
it's like a
I
TV
agree.
thing to have
It's
a cold open.
Yeah.
But
I really like that aspect to these films. Like I know that it's a bit hard to do it with student films because they're like maybe 20 minutes long.
maximum 20.
Maximum. And then that takes up a good solid like 12 to 20% of the movie.
Yeah.
But it's still a really cool way to set up a plot for a story.
Yeah, I love a good cold open. Really can set the stage so well and be so effective and be
Yeah,
the
'cause
thing people remember from the movie most.
I mean, for us, like our hook has to be the first like 30 seconds, maybe a minute. But they get to use the whole.
Yeah.
The hook
10
for
minutes.
me is the first shot though.
True.
Oh,
He
of
walks
Bond
in down the corridor.
the hallway, out of focus.
That's such a great good opening shot.
It's so
so
good.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Billie Eilish did.
No Time to
She did
Die.
No
That's a good
Time.
song. I like
That's
that one.
really
Yeah.
good.
All of the Daniel Craig like songs, they're all great.
Writing on the Wall. I remember if you've ever been to Jindabyne, when you're driving to Jindabyne from Cooma, you come out through this little valley and into the massive like lake of Jindabyne.
Yeah.
I was listening to that song and it peaked when we
Wow,
came through.
so it gave you
And I was like,
goosebumps.
this is a movie scene right here.
I've got a Bond related question once you've given your moment, Cam.
Oh, okay. I thought Ollie was picking him. Sorry, I
thought you picked yours.
No.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
That was a great moment, but I think just the ending sequence in Skyfall, like the
It's so
burning
good.
house with the fight, like because you see Javier Bardem really declining mentally, and he's just having this moment. Like he shoots the DB9. No, what is it? That DB5.
Yeah. Wait.
Is that the model?
The
He
car.
shoots the Aston Martin, the very nice Aston Martin. He like absolutely destroys it, thinking Bond's in there, and it's so sad. And he's not, but there's a whole lot of that misdirection. And I love a bit of misdirection in these sorts of things. It's why I love Now You See Me.
Well,
Like, all that misdirection.
You can't have a good spy film without misdirection.
Exactly.
They were teasing Now You See Me 3, but then it didn't get off the ground.
Recently,
No, like
or ages ago, yeah.
like a couple of years ago, just before COVID.
Yeah.
So it could be COVID that killed it. But the car is
They
an
have
Aston Martin DB5.
Okay, I was right.
From,
In the end, I was right.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's still some minor traction on it. Now You See Me
I'd
3.
be so it's
Like
such
it's
a
not
unique
officially
concept.
cancelled. Anyway, that
love
Skyfall.
it.
I know it's not a single moment, but like when Skyfall is on fire.
Yeah.
So there's like the Skyfall battle is quite it's probably like an hour.
It's like 45 minutes.
45 minutes
Yeah.
to an hour. But specifically from the moment it's on fire to like M's death.
Yeah.
That sort of 10 minutes.
So many amazing shots of him just in the field with the burning house behind him and his Bond silhouetted. It's Deakins at his best.
On film grab, it's De Silva
like,
walking away from the burning house.
That is just unbelievable shot stuff.
Like, oh my god,
It's cool. It's very cool. That's mine.
like Deakins, my goodness, man.
He's good.
This is why How to Train Your Dragon's so good, because he was consulting. Cam, what's your moment?
I'm thinking, because there's a couple scenes that I really like. I love the neon fight scene in, is it Hong Kong?
Yeah, the like sniper scene.
Yeah, that whole sequence of like no dialogue, just all
Facial expression.
all facial expression and all action,
physical
and
acting.
movement.
I love like when you can use physical action.
Mm.
I mean,
it's like espionage. Like he's following him, and then he does some parkour up the lift and sneaks in and uses the shadows and the light to hide.
and the reflections
And
too.
the reflections. Oh, it's so well shot.
And then when he has the sniper on the other thing, and the person looks straight at him.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's amazing. But it's not that one. I think I'm with you on the fire scene, I'll be honest. But it's more specifically... Oh, not the fire scene, sorry. When they're prepping for it.
Yeah, true. The prep is really fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And when his
Some great
his
scenes in there.
caretaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he's walking up to... I forget his name, but the caretaker of Skyfall, when James Bond is walking up to him with a shotgun just to like practice his aim and whatever. And the caretaker's making fun of him for not being a good shot, and then he takes out these two, I think it's pots or something, from like a massive distance away. And he...
To be fair, up until that point, he has been shaky.
Mm.
So, like, that's what I'm saying. Is like he has this... He gets crippled, but up until that moment, he is affected. But then suddenly he does this, like, I'm going to prove you wrong, old caretaker of mine.
Yeah.
And then he just bam, bam, and suddenly there's no more problems.
Yeah, it's
Like,
more
there's
the line,
there's
though.
no critical moment in the final battle where he misses because his hands are shaky or anything.
But it's more like the line... Well, it's kind of where he's doing the pistol shooting.
True.
That's more... It's not resolved. But no, it's the line that the caretaker says, we're warning for profanity, but he calls him a jumped up little shit. And just that moment there, it's so funny that that's my moment.
Yeah, cool.
Nice.
But I reckon my popcorn will be stale by then, unfortunately.
Yeah, holding it for the whole movie.
No,
it's fresh. It's fresh forever.
It's
remember?
fresh forever. Oh, imagine.
It's magic popcorn.
It's like the
I forgot that
everlasting
it's magic
gobstoppers.
Yeah.
Well.
I got a Bond question quickly.
Oh, yep.
Who do you guys want to be the next James Bond?
Idris or Henry Cavill.
Mm-hmm.
Henry Cavill.
But it's not
going
to be either of them.
I know.
But it should be one of them.
I've watched too much of like The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
He's such a good spy, which is why I was so sad that Argyle got such bad reviews. I never watched it.
Idris is my choice.
I think it should be Idris, especially like because he's a very good British actor of color. Like I don't think it should be because he's a person of color.
No.
But I think he's a very good actor and would be really good for the role. And it's cool that he's a person of color and like would get that representation as the first person of color to play Bond.
A lot of people think Tom Hardy, but I think he'd be a better Bond villain than a Bond.
Yes.
Cool.
Of just his performance in like Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
I think that's just that.
Cillian Murphy.
Well, certainly.
Well, he's already cleaning up at all of the award sessions.
No,
Speaking of which,
speaking of
crazy.
For the
segues are crazy.
This is crazy. We're so good at this. But the SAG awards were held very recently.
Yeah, this past weekend on Netflix. They streamed on Netflix, which is so weird. Yeah, at least in America. I don't know how they were watched in Australia, but I have a VPN and I was watching it and on Netflix, which was so weird.
Yeah, weird. But Cillian Murphy won Outstanding Performance by a male actor in a leading role.
Yeah, I was so happy to see this.
Cillian Murphy as Robert J. Oppenheimer.
Wait, am I looking at the 2023 ones?
If you're looking at
I'm seeing
Austin Butler or
just find the
Brendan Farrell or Brendan Fraser, then
just find that one.
Okay, I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Yeah,
because I was like, Brendan Fraser in The Whale, while you say Cillian
Hang on
Murphy.
a minute.
I was so happy to see Killian win this because
But that was the actual SAG website that I was just looking
Oh,
at.
that's weird.
Weird.
Maybe they haven't published the winners yet.
Maybe. Anyway,
Maybe.
carry on.
I was so happy to see Killian win this because people had been going back and forth. Maybe it's Paul Giamatti, and I think this really secured Killian as like the one to win the Oscar,
Yeah.
which is
Which is
just
just
so deserving and just one of the best performances and so
man.
memorable.
Yeah, and then Lily Gladstone won Outstanding Performance by a Female Actor. And
So
Lily
it
Rowland
could go
Killian.
either
This
way.
is going to be the most interesting
such
part of
a-
Oscars. Like, I don't know who's going to win. Emma won the BAFTA. Lily Gladstone won this.
Mm.
It's gone back and forth every time. I couldn't tell you.
However, we do have our predictions. So I believe when this episode comes out,
Mm-hmm.
the Oscars are held on the Monday.
Yeah.
On Monday.
Yeah.
So we will definitely be doing an episode on that.
Oh, for sure. We have to talk
So
it through for sure.
Get excited.
Yeah.
We have also already done our predictions,
Mhm.
but we will mention that again in 2 weeks.
Yeah. We should talk about that after for sure.
We definitely should, yeah. And then the next is Male Actor in a Supporting Role, was won by Downey.
Yeah. He hasn't lost yet. So
He hasn't.
I think he's lost once, maybe.
Yeah. And then a Female Actor in a Supporting Role, Divine Joy Randolph.
Same thing.
In
Just
The
went in everywhere.
Holdovers. Oh my god, this website is not.
It also did some TV awards, but I guess
It
we won't.
did.
I don't think we should get into that because
No.
this is a film podcast.
But Succession won
well, yeah, one of the greatest shows
Outstanding
ever.
cast
Outstanding
for
Performance
a drama.
by an ensemble.
And Oppenheimer won that for the movie
Mm.
side of things.
And The Bear won Outstanding Performance by an Ensemble in a Comedy series.
That show is not a comedy, so I just don't know. Understand how they
Pedro
categorize.
Pascal won. Pedro Pascal won the award for Outstanding Performance by a Male Actor in a Drama Series, and he went up on stage and he was like, "I'm a little bit drunk."
That speech
Oh, that
was
was
so,
okay, I could
be
so
drunk.
good.
He
If
is
you
so
haven't seen
funny,
it,
he's
Yeah.
so cute.
definitely Google it.
I'm
It's
happy
so
he won that
wholesome.
because he's been losing a lot to Succession people, which I think is deserved.
Also, he was very drunk.
But
Not
like
even a little
he
bit.
deserved
But-
to win one.
But no one cares because
No,
it's
nobody
Pedro,
cared.
and it's not like he's like one of those drunks who starts saying bad things.
Yeah.
He's just
He's
Well,
just
happy-
even
well,
more,
happy
even more,
guy.
even
He
more
was giggly.
likable and even
Yeah.
more awesome.
Oh yeah. Then they actually did a stunt category.
Which just
Stunt-
needs to be in
It's
the
for an
Oscars.
ensemble though, so it's not specific individuals, but still. Mission Impossible won the
I'm sorry, that's just wrong.
action performance.
It's just wrong. It's just wrong.
I don't know, John Wick.
Wick 4 it has
He
some of
fell
the
down
best
so
action,
many stairs.
best stunts I've ever seen. The part 1 motorcycle jump is impressive, sure, but the stuff in Wick, like stuff like that,
Mm.
the motorcycle jump happens like every other scene in Wick. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
It's
true.
yes, Wick is amazing, but the one scene of him, he fell down every single individual step that was, you could count them. You can count them, and it annoyed the shiznit out of me.
You didn't like that scene?
No, because I knew I'd have to watch him fight all the way back up there.
That's what's so
And
funny
just
about
got
it.
Tedious. It
That's
got
what's
so,
that's the point.
This is John Wick.
yeah. This is John Wick 4,
Yeah, so I'm
but
saying.
also Keanu Reeves deserves.
Also, the Arc
so
de
much.
Triumph scene with the motorcycles
Oh, yeah, that
around
was-
Paris, like that's.
I mean, the
that's
CG
some of the
was.
not bro. That's some of the most memorable stuff I've ever seen. And I don't know why
I
Indiana
still think
Jones
the
is here.
dogfight scene is the better one in John Wick 2, or when he's in the pool and the bullets actually have realistic physics.
Yeah.
Like,
And Wick 4 with the jacket shield. So
oh
cool.
yeah,
So memorable.
it's genius.
Yeah.
And then outstanding action performance by a stunt ensemble in a television series was won by The Last of Us. Now,
Last of Us did sweep.
I haven't seen it,
What?
but
You haven't seen Last of Us?
Really? I
you had.
thought you talked about
Yeah,
it.
that's why you wanted to play the games, wasn't it?
no, I wanted to play the games.
Oh wow.
I wanted to
There
see
you
it
go.
because I wanted to play the games.
There,
But also
there
know
are
what happens
like
in the games.
the stunts in it would be all of the zombies,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
like
don't-
just fighting with the zombies. Like there's that big, like in the city, the big fight scene with the
Yeah.
big brute
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
I can't remember what they're
the
called. but-
bloater.
The bloater, yeah. And like the bloater versus all of the survivors who hate who are Joel and Ellie's friends?
David and Henry.
Yeah, David
Oh.
and Henry. They hate them, and so there's this big conflict between all of them. Yeah, that
I guess,
that
yeah,
sequence
yeah.
is big stunt fighty
What
sort
the-
of
Can I
thing.
borrow your PS5 when I go to the US
For sure.
and I'll play it?
Yeah.
All right, deal.
I did not expect such a quick yes.
Well, he's
Well,
not
it's
there.
not. It's got to be used by somebody. It's gonna
Yeah,
get
true.
lonely.
It's gonna
Yeah,
get
lonely.
lonely.
I'll have to go and feed it and take it for a walk.
You have to.
You're gonna
You have
sleep
to.
with it.
You have to download the Elden Ring DLC though, because it comes out when I'm away. So you have to like
Okay.
fire it by PlayStation, pay for it.
Pay for it. Isn't
No.
it free?
No, it's $40.
Oh,
But it's gonna
I'm
be like
thinking of
You know what?
God of War.
yeah,
I'd do
God of
that.
War.
You know what? I'd do that.
Oh, thank you.
I'd do that for you. It's a
Yeah.
birthday, a late birthday.
Oh, thank
present.
you. Well, I can't wait for that, but that's another story.
And I think that's about it for the SAG Awards.
Yeah.
Um,
The last big award show before Oscars, I think. There's
I
probably
think so.
some other ones.
I know
but
there's probably other ones.
You reckon there's another award show in the next 11 days?
I hope not, because I
Probably.
don't want to talk about this again until the Oscars. You know what I mean?
There'll
Yeah.
be like, I don't know, there'll be like a TikTok award or something.
Oh,
The
yeah,
TikTok
maybe.
award.
I don't know. Those awards.
Yeah. What about our award show where we give our own awards?
Yeah.
What, to each of us?
No, we decide the Oscars. We pick the films that we think like, so we don't have to go by the Oscars.
Yeah. The
This is an idea for
the
next-
UC Film
This is an idea for
Society
next year, maybe.
award show.
Yeah.
And we get all of the actors to come to Canberra and sit in 9A1.
Yeah.
No, can't do. It's got to be 2B9,
Yeah. Come on.
the massive lecture theatre.
Yeah,
that's
we're showing
really
clips of their
not
work.
that
We
big.
got to give them the best space possible.
It's such a bad.
The theaterette.
The theatre
1A21.
yeah, definitely.
Anyway, they'll all be
Tickets
there. They'll
at
win
$4,000.
their best awards ever.
$4,000.
More than that.
Not including food.
And not
You have
including
to-
meeting the actor.
$4,000 to book the seat, but an extra $10,000 to get the ticket. If you want to select your seat, it's $4,000.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Make it. Jake's taking notes of it right
yeah,
now.
he's making it happen.
Yep. I'm
He's
contacting
he's
my
reaching
people.
out to Scorsese. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you haven't followed me back on Letterboxd yet. That's all good. You can do it when we meet in person, but you should
Yeah,
come to this.
he's
You
aware
can
of
do
you.
it when he
just
comes
wants
around
to
for for
look.
Christmas lunch or Thanksgiving or whatever the next holiday is.
I could be his second person that he follows on Letterboxd.
Who's the
Who's the
first?
first?
His own company.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
It's selfish.
All right. All right.
Don't let him hear you say that. He'll never follow you.
Yeah.
Marty, I'm sorry. I watched Killers of the Flower Moon a lot. Trust me.
All right. Let's go into quick pitch. What did we do last time? I forget who picked what.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick the. Well, you're pointing at
Director.
me. Okay, I'm gonna pick the director, and it's going to be. Who's a Yeah, let's do Denis.
I was gonna do Denis.
I know Jake just picked that, but I'll pick Denis.
I'll pick an act. No, let me pick a genre for Denis. A genre that I want to see Denis do.
Sci-fi.
Yeah, he should make a sci-fi movie. That would be way out of left field.
I don't know who this is.
That's the director of Dune
Oh, okay.
and Blade Runner.
You don't know who Denis
2049.
Villeneuve is?
No.
Jesus,
Cam.
I'm leaving this in.
Cam.
No, please don't. Please
Cam.
don't.
We'll see you whenever. But
right,
this
I'll
has
see you
been your
later.
last
All right.
episode.
Okay.
See you later.
Thanks, guys. It's been a
Bye.
pleasure.
Bye.
Oh.
Cam's gone, so yes, finally.
I feel like any big budget director, I immediately think, oh, I want them to do a horror film. But I don't want to say
No,
horror because
I-
we've
I-
done so many.
Yeah, what about fantasy?
I know Dune's not fantasy. but
Get
I
him to
feel-
do like
I
a
feel-
D&D movie.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. You pick.
I left my computer in here. I can't leave.
Oh, damn.
I also want to say Western, but like Dune.
We've already
No,
done
no,
Dune.
no,
We've
no.
already kind
Just
of done
because
the
it's
Western.
sandy doesn't mean it's a Western
It's a Western musical.
musical. You want to see Denis do a musical? Are you being serious? Are we being
I was
Actually,
joking.
the amount of
No, I'll
musicals,
pick Western. I'll pick
Western.
Western.
The amount of musicals that have come out lately is a lot more than you'd think.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I mean,
A
I'm not complaining.
Denis Western shot by Deakins or Frasier would be.
Deacons all the way.
Well, I agree, but Frasier's sick too.
And then
Yeah,
actor.
H Dog Henry Cavill.
Let's do.
we have always done male actors.
We have. I was going to pick Saoirse Ronan.
Okay.
Oh, that's a great call.
Yeah,
Because I
we'll
was
do Saoirse-
thinking Lily Gladstone, but let's do
Let's do
Saoirse.
Saoirse Ronan.
Sure.
Is she our
Sure,
like?
sure.
She's the protagonist. She's
Yes,
the protagonist
yes.
in our Western.
Yeah.
Okay.
No Western.
So is she a like a
Is she
cowboy?
the bad
she
guy or
a-
is she the good guy? Or is she not the damsel? That's,
No,
that's
she's the,
Ashley.
she's
No,
the
no.
good guy. She's the good guy. I don't think we need another like protagonist is the villain situation.
She's
We've
trying
done
to
that a few times.
save. She's trying to save her
It's a
kid.
snowy night. She's on the edge of the road. A wagon pulls up. A man and a woman. The woman's in cuff.
She's trying to save her kid
This
from a
is
bad
just-
guy.
They're the Hateful Eight.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was
Great movie.
It's a western, but in the snow.
Whoa, crazy.
Crazy. No, I reckon.
Not a lot of feet shots in that one.
I reckon we should set it in the rainforest.
What?
Can a western be set in a rainforest?
A western can be anywhere.
I
technically.
guess.
A western's more the style.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
how
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah,
executed,
yeah.
less of the setting.
That's
But-
true.
I'm picturing kind of like
Nope is like a western at some point.
Nope is a western. It's not
It's-
like a western.
it's many
it is a
things.
western.
It's
Well, it's a
many
lot of
things.
genres,
Yeah.
but it is a western.
Rainforest then. I think
Yeah,
that's cool.
I reckon
That's a
a
cool setting.
rainforest, like the
Okay.
dead tree.
Yeah.
Opening shot, we hear this thrashing in the bushes, and she
Ooh.
comes out spotting mosquitoes and says,
She's got a big machete.
"Insert funny line here."
She's got a big machete. She's chopping down trees and
Yeah,
stuff.
It's just like, how do we make it Denis? Scale
Oh yeah.
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 bajillion.
She,
We need-
it's like
we need-
over a cliff, and then it's out into this massive.
Absurdly tall trees. Absurdly tall.
It's actually like
It's in Oregon. In the
I was gonna
redwoods.
say South America. She discovers like an Incan.
It's not
We could-
western anymore. That's
Wait,
an
what if we make-
adventure
what if we make it
movie.
a
No,
s-
but
What if you make it a
Oh.
fantasy western? So it's
Fantasy
like
western.
set in like a magical or rainforest that is out of this world.
I
I'm
think
sorry.
Denis. I think
completely messed
Denis
this up
works.
with the-
I think Denis
setting.
works best. Like what makes Denis his director, like his style, is scale
Mm-hmm. Yes.
and is working with plausible, like Dune is sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Like unlike Star Wars, which is science fantasy, it is definitely science
It's
fiction.
something
Yes.
that is
Like it is
Yes.
plausible.
Yeah. So are most of his
So
movies.
let's go with so is Arrival.
Blade Runner.
It's
So
a
is Blade
rainforest
Runner.
planet.
It's on Earth. Let's do a western. It can be in a rainforest,
It's in the
but it's real.
The,
It's just like take the
Okay,
scale and go crazy.
Yeah. Fair enough. I just want to see large trees and large animals.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that.
time traveling archaeologist.
She should
But it's
ride. She should
somehow
ride a
Western.
bird of some sorts.
She should ride a bird instead of a
Now
horse.
that's I'm getting Avatar. I'm getting Indiana Jones. I'm getting Doctor Who.
Oh my god, no! Because a western. What part of this? How can we make the rainforest into a western? It's a very. You need to have a very clear sense of good and bad. I believe that's what the western is.
That's it. Yeah.
But it's also to do with. Isn't it usually to do with like right and wrong as well?
Oh.
And
Yeah, like there's
protecting-
morals for sure.
Protect.
Yeah.
It's
Protecting
So-
or
a
slash
group- an individual or a group protecting.
with like subtle
People.
what's it called? Destiny manifesting, that kind of thing.
Manifest
We could
destiny.
do a.
Yeah, manifest destiny.
I don't know if this fits within. No, actually,
Just say it. Just say it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't know if this fits within the Western genre, but we could do a woman versus nature story. Her trying to protect either her kid or someone close to her from
Jungle Book.
the rainforest. I don't know if a Western needs to have a protagonist or
Definitely a
someone
Jungle
working
Book
against
with
her.
people instead of animals.
Yeah. Just an idea.
I think that could work, but it's like loggers or something.
I just don't know.
It's an
Yeah.
environmental message.
The
No,
Western.
because if it's
idea.
Western, it's got to be in the 1800s. You can
Sure.
be in a rainforest.
No.
It's
But
just
in the
it's in the
1800s.
1800s.
Mhm.
So there's a
And
town.
she's got a horse and a gun.
She stumbles
She
upon
wears a
a
hat.
town. Yeah, when she comes out of the bushes, there's this town in a massive sinkhole.
Oh, that's very Denis.
Like
It's like the
like
sandworms.
a massive sinkhole, like one that goes to the horizon.
Yeah.
So you're thinking rather than a sinkhole, it's like a big natural. Well,
Yeah,
maybe
like a
not natural, but a massive sort of crater
Yeah.
bowl.
It comes down and then goes out and around underground.
Oh, okay.
Sinkhole.
So it's an underground cavern.
No, it's not underground. It's a cavern, but it's not.
It's like a
underground.
big circular valley,
Sure.
but it's really really deep.
yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's as deep because you still have to see the town, but it's like a western kind of town.
Okay. Yeah. A ghost town, or is
Yeah.
it? Or is there
What
people
if
in
what
it?
if the rainforest is dried up?
Yeah. What if? Yeah, you can have your really tall dead trees.
I like
Dried
that.
out.
And then we need
rainforest.
a distinct bad person that we know is bad and
Is it the mayor?
the
Oh.
mayor of the town.
Yeah. or the sheriff,
Or is it
the corrupt sheriff.
the deputy?
Is
Like,
the deputy?
or
who's-
what I meant was like the mayor's assistant, not the deputy.
Okay.
The mayor's assistant.
Yeah.
Or is that too cliche? No, that's too cliche.
That's like
Don't
Lord of
worry
the
about
Rings.
cliches.
It's like, what is it? The Two Towers.
Like what worm tongue?
Oh, man.
It's also like Zootopia.
Zootopolis.
This is
you
a
mean?
Zootropolis.
Zootropolis.
No.
Call it by its correct name, please.
Don't
Yeah.
even talk to me about Zootropolis.
Hey, that's what it says on Disney
I
Plus.
don't care. It could be the deputy. Like
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
need replacing.
Yeah,
Like Rango style.
yeah.
Mm.
Except in Rango, like the deputy isn't there
But they all have
because
really
it's the
thick
snake.
Irish
They're all
accents.
just scared. It's an Irish town because in America there's heaps
But
of Irish
there's
people.
there's no rainforests in Ireland.
No, because it's in America.
Oh, that's true.
They're all Irish immigrants.
Are there like that kind of scale of rainforest in the US?
Not really in the northern U.S.
Yeah, no.
It's too temperate.
Yeah.
It could be in Florida.
That's
Yeah.
more swampy.
I
I'd say.
know.
Oh, but then you
It's
can do some really
less-
cool stuff with the swamps and alligators and stuff.
It could be in Lemoyne.
I think it'd be more like a forest than
I've got
than a
PTSD from Lemoyne.
rainforest. No, there's no official rainforest. It
I've
could
got-
be like the redwoods in California.
Well, that's
Yeah.
Those
that's why-
trees, those trees are
Okay,
massive.
let's dried out redwoods
dried out.
If we're still thinking deputy,
because it's not really a real place.
No.
Where we're talking about.
if we're still thinking deputy for the actor, I think we should cast Jeremy Allen White.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
I guess it's keeping the like similar ages.
Yeah.
I reckon he could do a bad guy pretty well.
Yeah, I think so. And
Villainous.
I think he would crush in a western. He's got the look. He's got the
Have you seen the thing where he looks like that like children's book character wearing overalls? It's like
Yeah.
yeah.
He has a very innocent face as well. So
Mm.
I don't think you could pick it from the beginning.
And yeah, he's younger, but
But
like he
Western
could
isn't
be
more about female
like the
characters.
son of the deputy who recently died taking over. I don't know.
Yeah. And there's a series of murders in this town.
He could do an accent. Like I think he would crush this.
Yeah. I think that works as the villain. So what's
Mhm.
the story? She comes to this town and they're being oppressed by the villainous deputy.
Yes.
And she lives just outside of town and has
Mm.
to rappel into the sinkhole.
Apart from the scale, then what makes it Denis?
They all speak. Oh, it's got to be. Well, it's
All of his stories to me are about people reckoning with something they can't control. Paul can't control his destiny.
yeah. So they can't.
That's different because Frank Herbert.
But they can't control the forest is dying.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Until she
but-
comes along and lets them realize this.
and what? Maybe the deputy's not letting them move, and they actually need
Yeah.
to leave.
Yeah, he's too conservative about like, no, this is our home, we can't leave.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
if we do leave,
They're keeping them
he's
in
spreading
this-
misinformation about the jungle, or the
Mm.
creatures that live outside the jungle,
I actually love this.
and they ride giant tarantulas.
I mean, I would
Yes, they would.
absolutely watch this movie.
Yeah.
I'm still not really feeling the Denis influence, but I don't think the story has to be Denis.
Yeah.
He just has to direct it in a way that would be
Yeah.
thrilling and
Mm.
vast.
Yeah.
So yeah,
just scale.
so the story is a Western movie directed by Denis, with Saoirse Ronan, set in a Western town just on the outskirts of a dying redwood forest. Jeremy Allen White plays the villainous deputy who is oppressing the town, and he's stopping them from leaving as it's dying, and they need to move on. But it's a Western in like production, in vibe, setting, everything like that. And they have to
Space cowboys.
Is that what it's called?
normal cowboys.
Normal
Thank you very much.
cowboys.
What's it called?
Boy. The whole
Forest of the Dead is what I was gonna say.
Forest of
And
the
that's not
Dead.
what I actually mean.
Redwood.
Red. She
That's
has
it.
red hair.
Not the
Red
whole,
Town.
That's bad. Something about death and escapism.
We all be dying.
We all be dying. We all float down here.
I'm thinking of something like, you know, the name like One Flew Over the
Ghost
Cuckoo's
Town.
Nest, something of that sort of vibe,
longer, yeah,
where it's like longer and it's sort of
It
lofty.
could sound like a poem.
Yeah.
Yeah. One discovered a sinking town. That could be a poem, actually.
The town that Redwood saw. I don't know.
What's
sunken
Saoirse
sunken
Ronan's
town
character's
beyond the
name?
redwoods. But that's just the description of the place.
Yeah.
That's literally it needs to.
Sunken town.
No.
Once
it's
upon a
too
time in
Beyond the
in-
redwoods.
Once upon a time in the sinkhole. Cars
tough.
4.
Blade Runner 2050.
Wow.
2050.
Blade Runner 1800.
Yeah. She just like her arm opens up. And
The twist, the M Night.
It's all made out of,
she's
like, wood.
sci-fi,
The M
yeah.
Night twist at the end is she's a replicant.
Oh
no.
Yeah, I think it needs some like lofty sort of title.
Something that accentuates the grand scale of the setting,
Hmm.
but not specifically
The
about
town
the
where
setting.
the town where blank lived. My brain keeps saying Jesus, the town where Jesus lived, but not
Jesus
Jesus.
definitely didn't exist in this universe.
The
Sorry.
town where someone lived. How does that sound? The town where Daisy lived.
The town
It-
where
her name doesn't have to be Daisy. That's just the first
the
name. that
town
came
where
to my mind.
where they used to live.
But shouldn't it be about death rather than life?
What?
Because it's about this dying town.
Well, yeah, that sort of implies it. Lived.
The
Oh,
town
okay,
where no
okay.
one lived.
No, that's too.
But they're
That's
not really
it.
alive.
too on the
you know, They're
nose.
It's too on the
oppressed by
nose.
the deputy.
No, I think the town
Wow.
where someone lived.
Yeah, okay.
It just doesn't have to be Daisy. That was just the
Okay.
first name that came to
The
my
town
mind.
where the redwoods.
What's Saoirse's character name?
Daisy.
Okay.
redwoods don't sway anymore. I don't know. You guys are writers. You should know this. Come on, get on it.
I hate coming up with names.
I actually like
Both-
Daisy. I
both-
actually like Daisy.
Okay.
Just funny.
The
Funny.
town where
enough.
Daisy lived.
I kind of like that.
Yes, that's good. Let's
But
lock it in.
Is Daisy Saoirse Ronan's character? Didn't
Yeah.
she discover it? She
Or
didn't-
maybe
she didn't live
Daisy is
there.
Jeremy Allen White's character.
Okay, true.
That's the
It's
trick.
like-
Or maybe
hiccup.
there's like a subplot about this person that used to live in the town called Daisy, who is key to the plot in some way.
Could be.
But
Daisy
that's getting into
discovered that
the weeds of it.
Daisy discovered that the deputy.
Daisy was the
knows-
first
She
to.
discovered water and told the deputy, but the deputy was like, "Nah."
Daisy was the first to oppress Jeremy Allen White's character, and he killed her. Well, maybe not that dark. She could have just been an old lady who died.
Daisy played by Gwyneth Paltrow.
No.
Scarlett Johansson, who could play anybody.
No,
No,
only-
Meryl Streep. Lock it in.
Okay, but that's what we're going with.
Yes.
The town where Daisy lived, and Daisy is central to the plot. It could be Jeremy Allen White's character, it could be Saoirse's character, or it could be someone central to the town,
Mm-hmm.
separate from the two of them.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mm.
I
What
love-
if
I love
Daisy
that.
was not a young girl, but one of the first people in the town?
Yeah, it could be
So
like,
she knows it. Judi Dench.
well, yeah, like it could be anyone. I don't know exactly who it is yet,
No,
but it's
too late.
someone important. Okay. That's
Well-known,
a good quick
high-paying
pitch.
actor. We're
Yeah.
putting in this movie to promote it, but it's really not a good movie.
I do understand that you.
Why? Why is it not a good movie? Get Denis in.
No,
and
that's
we'll
the
flesh
trope.
it out
They
with
like
him.
they hire
Oh, right,
really good actors.
Denis can do anything
for a
He
terrible
can make
story.
anything good,
I'm not saying this, is
especially with the
terrible,
right people
but-
like Deakins or Fraser and
Yeah.
Hans Zimmer.
Mm.
Or
Mhm.
Oh, Hans doing a western.
oh, it'd be so good, right?
Hans, my
Man.
man.
Yeah, my pal.
My
We're on a
pal,
first name
Hans.
basis.
Hey Han, do a western, please.
No, it's Hans.
Hans.
Hans bitte.
That S is silent. Han.
Han.
No,
Zim-
Hans Zimmer doing a western would be awesome.
I agree. It would be very in line for Deakins.
I reckon
too.
he could do
He's done so many
wonders
westerns.
with like the whole guitar. Like,
yeah,
Yeah,
banjo.
create some more
Sounds- a
new
banjo.
instruments.
get him a banjo.
Yeah,
didn't he do that for? No, wait, no.
he created new
was-
instruments for Dune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking of
Yeah.
Ludwig, but yeah. Well, that's it. There we go. That's the
So quick.
I would love
the
to watch the
town
movie.
where
Daisy lived.
Daisy lived. We'll sell you the rights for 10% of the profits.
Yeah.
More.
Yeah.
No,
10%.
10% of a
10%.
But
10% of the profits of a Denis movie would be a lot.
But if I come back after seeing Dune 2 and I don't like it, then it's scrapped.
There's no way you're not gonna like.
Imagine
Dune
I'm
2.
just like this.
you loved Dune 1. Everyone in the country, everyone in the world loves Dune 2, and you hate it.
I would actually feel
I'd
so
be so
depressed.
surprised.
No,
Oh
I'm
my
gonna trick myself into liking it, even if I don't.
Trick yourself into like, you're gonna watch it like 6 times
Yeah.
until you do like it.
Yeah, nah. I mean, that movie's gonna be
Oh,
so sick.
goodness.
Okay.
All right.
so,
Well, just to finish up, we've got some Film Society stuff to talk about.
Yes.
Yesterday for us, we had the first of our Soviet film screening
Mhm.
sessions.
Mm.
They're happening every fortnight, run by a wonderful friend of the show, Benjamin Yo,
7 p.m. in 2B9. So
the
definitely be
big
there.
lecture theatre.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely check it out. It's free for everybody, so
Yeah.
you don't need to pay. I think
We'll also be doing film trivia at the Well on April 2nd.
is that Tuesday?
UC Bar X now. Tuesday, April 2nd from 5:30 to 6:30, 7:30, however long.
Something like
Be
that.
there, win some prizes. Going to be some good questions. So, yeah.
Get excited. Also, we have from when this is being played, you've got like, I don't know, maybe 6 hours, but the scene recreation comp
Get on
is
it.
due today, so definitely get on it. It's a good opportunity to win some prizes. We have some awesome partners that
you
have
can
sent
just
us
take some last minute photos.
It's a ton of
Yeah,
fun to do.
it
We
really
created
doesn't
some as
matter.
well. So
There's a prize for each year, so definitely get on it. Also, you don't have to be sponsored. Yeah, I think it's good fun.
yeah, get involved. So I guess
Yeah,
we'll
gonna be
see
some
coming out
great
soon.
events this year.
Well, thanks for joining us for this week of Off Camera. We'll see you next week.
That's a wrap.
See ya.